right, well, I'm Brian from Peerless, and I'm here with...
Jim Catalfino.
And what's the name of your shop, Jim?
Catalfino's Italian.
What model Peerless oven do you own?
I've got two CW62s. About 120,000 BTUs each, 60 for each burner.
Okay. Why did you purchase a Peerless oven?
Well, my father's been in this business since 1974, and that's all he's ever had is Peerless ovens. And his philosophy that he taught me first was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Our first one was a 1954 model, and we just retired it about 7 months ago. The other one was a 1974, and we thought, well, if we're getting one new one, we might as well get all 4 of them brand new and start the thing off right.
That sounds good to me. What do you like most about your Peerless ovens?
They're consistent. They cook evenly across. Doesn't matter where you put a pizza, you have to turn it halfway around during the cooking process, and that's it. Back of the oven obviously cooks a little faster, but that's what you want it to do. 7 minutes on a large pepperoni to 15 minutes on a large champion, which is about a 4-pound pizza. Doesn't matter how much stuff you pack on it, it cooks the same. It just takes a little longer, that's all.
Well, that's good. Another question for you. Would you buy another Peerless oven?
Oh yeah, that's all I have in my shop. I won't put any other ovens in it from here on out. Cooked on Blodgett's, I've cooked on Baker's Prides. They ain't got nothing on these things, especially Blodgett's. They're not consistent enough, they're not even enough in the cooking process.
So Peerless is better oven?
Oh, by a long shot. By a long shot.
Well, that's good to hear. How do your ovens cook?
Consistent every time. I turn them on 45 minutes before we open. They're up to heat in 45 minutes, and I get the same cook throughout the day. They hold their temperature well, they recover well. Even at my peak times. Yesterday we sold close to 250 pizzas, and our average ticket was 61 minutes yesterday. We had people in and out the door in an hour. And we're a dine-in place, we're not a carry-out delivery. It's 61 minutes from the time they order to the time they pay, and that's not bad at a pizza joint.
So you'd say they recover?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have no problems getting them back up to heat.
Well, you already told me average cook time, so I guess it goes to say you'd say they cook quality pizza?
Oh, yeah. Here. That, 25 awards we've won in the last 10 years, cooking on Peerless ovens. We basically have more awards than anyone in Columbus, Ohio. Any pizza shop that we compete with, can't touch us on the amount of awards. So it's all because of these things.
Well, that's good news. So another question for you. Deck versus conveyor. What's your opinion?
Well, we took this place over. There was another operator in here before us, and he went out of business, and we took the place. His oven was in here, and it was a 24-inch wide belt conveyor oven. I hooked up the gas service, I had to pay a deposit based on the average usage before us. It was $1,700. My gas bill, the fees, and pretty much the same kitchen setup he had, other than the ovens are different. Our gas bill is about $700 a month. So he was puking about $1,000 worth of utilities that he didn't need to every month. I don't count the electric.
And he's out of business.
He's out of business.
He must not have had a very good pizza.
No.
I have another question for you. How would you rate your Peerless ovens on 3 factors? On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the best, would you rate Peerless on, number 1, dependability?
Number 1. I think I've changed the thermal coupling one time in the last 2 years. Not
and you've been using them for 25 or 30 years.
35. 35 now. Well, January 4th will be 35 years. And in the last 2 years, I've changed the thermal coupling.
And utility costs?
Cut in half.
Number 1?
Cut in half. I dropped $1,000 off of what we thought we were going to use just based on the old place that was in here, the old operator.
And how about size?
Size, I could get 40 pizzas in and out in 20 minutes with this 2 decks, with these 2 ovens.
And how wide is this whole setup here?
About 100 inches.
And how many pizzas can you do?
About 40.
So in 100 inches you can do 40 pizzas?
And if you figure that in an hour's time I could probably get 120 out if I had to. I'd have more problem making them and getting the things full than I would cooking them.
And you're making a higher quality product.
Yeah, yeah.
So, would you recommend this oven or the Peerless brand to a friend?
Oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it to my competition because I don't want them cooking as good a product as me, but if a friend's going in, I'll tell them to get a Peerless.
Okay, well that's good. So in conclusion, would you say that Peerless ovens are inexpensive to buy, operate, and maintain?
Oh yeah, it's the best deal in pizza right now. It's Peerless ovens by a long shot. I can't think of another piece of equipment that I have that gives me better return for the dollar invested.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add to our little talk?
I absolutely love this oven. I would not be in business if it weren't for this oven. We couldn't do this with a Blodgett. We couldn't do it with a Baker's Pride. What we do here is because of the pizza ovens.
One other thing. When I first came to you to sell you an updated, upgraded, improved oven, and we weren't sure that was true, but that ended up being true, right?
Yes, it did. The old ovens were rated about 45,000 BTU. You know, the build, the box itself, the baffles, the bricks, those are all pretty much the same. But what you've done with the airflow and how you've locked it in and you've tested it, you basically brought it into the 21st century.
And we increased the BTUs to 60,000.
Right. You increased the speed, the burners. The burners spread out a lot more in this oven than it is in the older models.
So better distribution of heat?
Better distribution of heat, and you've contained where you need the heat. If you look, I don't know if you can see in there.
I think the camera can see that.
The top baffles are open about a ½ inch. That's where we cook mostly garlic breads and subs and things of that nature. If we get hammered on pizza, obviously we can cook in there. But down here, things open about 6 inches. You get a lot more heat, you get a lot better cook on the bottom for your pizzas. If we start cooking on the top of the pizza, it will come down to the bottom, it'll finish off in that part. But that really is the biggest improvement. Just the distribution of heat is so much better in this oven compared to the old boxes. You know, as far as cooking, it's still cooked even in the old box. These things are just more
faster.
Yeah, it's faster, and you've directed the heat the way you need to. It's this and this. That's the heat. Controls underneath, the heat stacks on each side are the same. We'll get out of test situations and tell some stuff.
Well, Jim, I'd like to thank you for your time today.
No problem. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for coming in.
All right.